The seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu is that of Lord Sri Rama. Okay, so before I actually start playing this video, let me tell you this. Among the 9 avatars of Lord Vishnu that have happened so far, Lord Rama avatar is considered to be the incarnation where he incarnated as a man who is supreme in honor as well as in righteousness. Righteousness means he always did the right thing and he always fought for the right duties and right things on this planet. So with that I am starting the video, and along with that there will be a small prayer which we'll devote to Lord Sri Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Okay, with this prayer, let us start with the Shanti mantra. Okay, and this Shanti mantra, as you all know, is from Yajurveda, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, chapter 1, Brahman 3, Shloka 28.
सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
So, children, now we'll see what all we will be able to learn from today's story. We'll be able to learn why did Lord Vishnu take the fourth avatar, the seventh avatar as Lord Sri Ram. Whom did he want to help by taking this incarnation, and what should we learn from this story? Right? So immediately I'll start with the story. So now it was the time when the existence of people on earth and that of gods in the heavens was getting threatened by Ravana, who was the ruler of the Rakshasas or the demons, and he was the king of Lanka, which was the kingdom which was made up of gold. Ravana was no ordinary looking demon. He had 10 heads and 20 arms. He also had remarkable powers, but he was using his power to prevent the gods and holy men from performing sacred rituals. Learning of Ravana's actions, Vishnu, the protector of the universe, decided it was time to do something. Years ago, Ravana was granted a boon or a promise. This boon protected him from gods and demons, and then now Vishnu wondered what should be done. So he thought Ravana, in his arrogance, protected himself only from those whom he thought could hurt him. However, he failed to protect himself from humans and monkeys. Lord Vishnu therefore decided to be born as a human to put an end to the atrocities of Ravana. And after deciding this, Lord Vishnu had to take birth, and for that he chose King Dashrath. King Dashrath of the Suryavanshi Ikshvaku dynasty was a brave warrior. He was the king of Ayodhya. He had three queens named Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kekai, but he had no child. Pained by the absence of an heir, King Dashrath invited his family guru, sage Vashisht, and to express his sorrow to share his concerns. Sage Vashisht asked the king to perform the Putra Kameshti Yagya under the guidance of sage Shringamuni. Upon the successful completion, the fire god emerged from the sacred fire pit holding a bowl containing a divine sweet preparation in his hands, and he told Dashrath to distribute it among his wives. Therefore, Dashrath did the same. Subsequently, on the Navmi Tithi, Shukla Paksh in Chaitra month, Kaushalya gave birth to Sri Ram. Kekai gave birth to Bharat, while Sumitra gave birth to twin sons Lakshman and Shatrughan. And as time passed, the children started growing up. As they were all prince and it was their duty to be brave warriors, so in order to educate them, Dashrath chose Sage Vashisht. Sage Vashisht took the princes to his ashram and started teaching them. As the time passed, all the brothers excelled in the art of fighting battles and they all gained important values, noble values, good virtues. Along with that, they gained good education. They all became very righteous, very good in their behavior, and their guru taught them to fight evil for the benefit of people around them. One day, sage Vishwamitra came to Dashrath and sought Rama's help to fight the demons who made it impossible to worship. Rama and Lakshmana, his favorite brother, set out with him, and then when they had gone to the ashram of Lord Vishwamitra, they had gone to the ashram of sage Vishwamitra, Lord Sri Rama and his brother, they had to start fighting the demons. In the forest, Rama killed demon Tadka. She had been mercilessly killing and eating the flesh of the sages and was bothering Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra was so pleased that he taught Rama and Lakshmana the art of using unique weapons which are all time used by all the gods, and these divine weapons very soon Rama and Lakshmana learnt how to use them. Meanwhile, King Janaka, who was the king of Mithila, found a baby girl inside a pot which had been buried deep under the earth by the demons. This pot contained the blood of sages and innocent people which had been killed by the demons. King Janaka was plowing the land when the front portion of his plow hit the pot and the baby began to cry. Janaka adopted the girl as his daughter, and this girl was named as Sita. In reality, who was she? She was the wife of Lord Vishnu, that is, goddess Lakshmi. Now, King Janaka had a bow of Lord Shiva in his palace. It was so heavy that thousands of soldiers could not move it. One day, however, King Janaka saw that Sita moved the bow with her finger and decided to get Sita married to a person who could lift the bow with his hands. And when the right time came, Sita had grown up and her father wanted to marry her and therefore invited kings and princes to the Swayamvar, which means a marriage ceremony where a girl would marry the person who could fulfill the condition of lifting the bow. Vishwamitra brought Sri Ram and Lakshman to the court of King Janaka where the Swayamvar was taking place. Many tried, even Ravana, the famous and powerful demon king, tried, but not even him. No one could move the bow. When Rama came to try it, he easily lifted it. He was so strong that he broke it into two parts while trying to string it. Rama won the Swayamvar and Sita married Rama. After this, they came back to Ayodhya. Everyone was leading a happy life in Ayodhya, and a few years later, King Dashrath decided it was time to give his throne to his eldest son Ram. Everyone was pleased except for Queen Kekai and her maid Manthra, since they wanted Bharat to rule. Because of a promise that Dashrath had made to Kekai years before, she got the king to agree to banish Rama for 14 years into the forest and to crown Bharat as the king. The king pleaded with her not to demand such a request. It was very painful for him, but Kekai did not change her decision. The devastated king could not face Rama, and it was Queen Kekai who told Rama the king's decree. Rama, who had been always obedient to elders and to his parents, was content to go into banishment in the forest. Sita had always been inseparable from her husband, and Lakshmana was truly devoted to serve his elder brother. So Sita and Lakshmana, they went along with Rama to the forest. And in time, Dashrath could not live and he died. After his death, in a few days, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita crossed the Saryu River. Soon they reached a place called Chitrakoot. It was a beautiful place and it was a paradise. They built a small hut near a stream. Several days later, when Lakshmana was out hunting in the forest, he saw that Bharat had come along with people from Ayodhya. Lakshman thought that Bharat wanted to kill them, but Bharat had come to take Lord Ram back to Ayodhya. He requested Lord Ram to become the king. Lord Rama, however, refused to return as he wanted to keep the promise given to his father. Bharat then took Lord Rama's sandals and decided to keep them on the throne. He ruled the kingdom in the name of Lord Rama and he acted as a representative of Lord Rama. His love for his brother was very, very deep. One day, a demon called Shrupnakha came to the place where Rama and Lakshmana were residing along with Sita. And Shrupnakha wanted to marry Lord Rama, but he refused. She attacked Sita in a state of fury, and Lakshmana had to cut off her nose to punish her. She returned to her brother Ravana, the 10-headed ruler of Lanka. In retaliation, in order to take revenge, Ravana devised a plan to abduct Sita. After hearing about her incomparable beauty, Shrupnakha also had another brother named Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna and Ravana were actually Jay and Vijay, who had taken their second birth on the earth. So, dear children, I hope you remember that Jay and Vijay had been cursed to take 3 births on the earth and they would return to Vaikunt only after getting killed at the hands of Lord Rama, and that is why their second birth had taken place now. So now I am going to show you a very key event in this story where Sita is going to be abducted by Ravana. So let us see this video very carefully and you will enjoy it.
Shurpanakha was Ravana's sister. Shurpanakha went to Lanka and wailed before Ravana, narrating the story of her humiliation. She also told him about Sita's beauty. Anger welled up in Ravana. Hearing her description of Sita's beauty, an evil thought entered his mind that he should abduct Sita. Ravana thought of many ways and finally decided to seek the assistance of Maricha, who was his relative. Maricha, Ram and Lakshman should be lured away from the hermitage. Maricha assumed the guise of a lovely golden deer and roamed around in front of Sita.
Look at that beautiful deer. If we can catch it, it will become a source of pride in Ayodhya.
That is not a real deer. It looks artificial. Don't get fooled by the Rakshasa's tricks. But Rama wanted to fulfill Sita's desire, and he proceeded to follow the golden deer. In pursuit, it took him far away from their hermitage. Finally, tired and angry, Rama struck it with an arrow. As he lay dying, Maricha cried out in Rama's voice, "Help me, Lakshmana! Sita! Help me, Sita!"
Lakshmana, what is this loud cry? Something is wrong. Please go and search for your brother. He must be in danger.
My brother is the protector of the world. What danger can affect him? There is no need for me to go to his aid. These are all Rakshasa's tricks.
How can you ignore your brother's cries for help? When your elder brother is facing danger, you are wasting time here. I do not approve of your actions.
You are like a mother to me. I will draw a line. Until we return, please do not cross the line at any cost. Meanwhile, a sannyasi arrived at Rama's hut. Who served him? I cannot accept the food if you serve it from inside that line.
I cannot come out, Guru. Please accept the food.
I don't want your food. You are insulting me. Finally, Sita decided to step out of the line. At that moment, eagles began flying overhead, and the sannyasi took the form of Ravana. He viciously dragged Sita by her hair and took her into his chariot. Jatayu, who was sleeping on top of a tree, awoke when he heard Sita's cries. He immediately jumped forward and attacked Ravana's chariot. Ravana lashed at Jatayu and cut off his wings. Carrying Sita, Ravana flew to the skies towards Lanka. In Sita, Ravana flew to the sky.
So that is how Sita was abducted and taken to Lanka. And Ravana wanted Sita to marry him, but Sita did not listen. She loved only Rama. Hearing this, Ravana led Sita out of the palace and into a garden. He guarded her with 100 demons. Back in the forest, Lakshmana found Rama unharmed, and both of them were terrorized. When they reached the hut, they found that Sita was gone, and Rama cried. Then he gathered his strength and he said, "This act shall not go unpunished. I will slay Ravana and his entire family." Rama and Lakshmana went to Kishkindha and met Lord Hanuman and Sugriv. Sugriv and his entire monkey army promised to help Rama in finding Sita. Lord Rama in turn killed Sugriva's cruel brother Bali and made Sugriv the king of Kishkindha. Following this, Hanuman went along with his men in search for Sita. They saw a great bird on the mountainside who was the brother of Jatayu. He told Hanuman that Sita was in Ashoka garden in Lanka. Only Hanuman had the capacity to cross such a big ocean. Hanuman prayed for strength. He saw the unhappy image of Rama. Hanuman prayed to Rama. Then, incredibly, he began to grow, and grew so huge that the ground began to shake. With a great cry, "Victory to Rama!" Hanuman leapt into the sky. And he was able to cross the ocean and he reached Lanka, where you will see, children, what happened once he reached Lanka.
Hanuman torches Lanka.
Hanuman, in search of Sita, crossed the ocean and reached the shores of Lanka. The city of Lanka was beautiful and was heavily guarded. The son of Vayu searched for Sita all over the city. Hanuman finally found Sita under a tree in Ashoka garden. He gave her Rama's signet ring and comforted her. Sita in turn gave her crown jewel to be given to Rama. Hanuman wanted to teach Ravana a lesson. Hanuman uprooted the trees and created havoc. The Rakshasas reported to Ravana. Hanuman was tied by the snake arrows and taken to Ravana's court.
Find out from this wicked fellow who he is, where he has come from, who has sent him here, and why he has entered Lanka. I am Hanuman, the ambassador of Rama, the prince of Ayodhya. You have carried away Sita, Rama's wife. This is a cowardly act and is also against Dharma. It is a sin to desire another's wife. Pay heed to this humble messenger and turn into the right path. Call the executioner! Kill this monkey!
Vibhishana, Ravana's righteous brother, intervened.
But brother, you cannot kill a messenger.
What is wrong in killing one who has sinned so greatly?
No matter how grievous his offense, it was done at the bidding of others. Of what use it is to kill a messenger?
Well, a monkey's most cherished possession is its tail. Set fire to his tail!
The Rakshasas tied pieces of cloth around Hanuman's tail. His tail grew in size, and as it grew, more and more of rags were tied to the.
But fire does not hurt me at all. The elements themselves seem kind to one who is engaged in Ram's service.
Suddenly he shrank in size and shook off the ropes that bound him. Resuming his huge form, jumped with his blazing tail to the top of a tall building. Then he jumped from mansion to mansion, setting fire to them. In a little while, a strong breeze began to blow, and the whole city was in flames.
I feel so happy to see the city in flames. Now I will go to the sea and plunge in and put this fire off my tail. Then I will fly back to my lord. Off my tail. Then I will fly back to my lord.
So Hanuman flew back to the place where Lord Sri Ram was waiting for him. And then Lord Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriv, Hanuman, and the entire monkey army proceeded towards Lanka to fight against Ravana. Rama, Lakshmana, and the monkey army built a long bridge on the ocean from the tip of India to Lanka and crossed over. In Lanka, Vibhishana tried to convince Ravana to return Sita respectfully. He said, Rama is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Do not invite your death. Stop thinking about fighting a battle. But Ravana angrily threw Vibhishana out of Lanka. After this, Vibhishana left the palace and then he flew to Rama. Arriving at his camp, Vibhishana was welcomed by Sri Ram and he told Rama about the demonic powers and secrets about the strength of Ravana, Ravana's son Indrajit and his brother Kumbhakarna. So as you can see in the picture, the first picture, all the monkey army is making a long bridge from the tip of India to Lanka. And in the second picture, it shows that how Vibhishan came to Lord Rama and Lord Rama accepted Vibhishana as his friend and promised to make him the king of Lanka. So now let's see, children, what happened next. So now the great battle started. Blood filled the streets of Lanka. Bodies of fallen warriors were everywhere. Rama and Lakshmana fought gallantly. Hanuman was also injured. Indrajit hurled powerful weapons at Lord Rama and Lakshmana. Rama and Lakshmana fell to the ground unconscious. They had been hit by the arrow, which caused their bodies to be entwined tightly by poisonous snakes. Lord Hanuman now took charge and brought back Garuda bird, who is the carrier of Lord Vishnu. Garuda broke open the network of snakes and saved Rama and Lakshmana. Just when things were starting to look up for Rama's warriors, Indrajit returned to the battle. He was now invisible. All the monkey soldiers could hear was the mocking laughter of Indrajit. Then Indrajit spotted Lakshmana. He aimed his magic bow and fired. The arrow cut through the air and struck Rama's brother Lakshmana in his chest. He lost consciousness and fell down to the ground. And everybody in the monkey army, including Lord Ram, they were worried for the life of Lakshmana. Lord Hanuman, he flew to Lanka and brought back a doctor who informed that the only way to save Lakshmana was to bring shining and glowing Sanjeevani herb, which can even revive people who are on the verge of death. And these had to be brought from the Himalaya mountains. Hanuman rose above the earth and flew off with lightning speed. When he reached the mountain, he saw the hill, but he could not recognize the herbs. Realizing time was short, he uprooted the entire hill and carried it back to Lanka in his hand. Hanuman flew off, balancing the hill in one hand. With the help of Sanjeevani herb, Lakshmana and other injured monkeys were revived. Rama embraced Hanuman and said, I know no one who shows your valor and devotion. With that, Hanuman cried out, Victory to Lord Sri Rama! Using all their weapons, Rama, Lakshmana, Vibhishana and Hanuman finally overpowered Indrajit and Lakshmana killed the demon. After Indrajit had been killed, Ravana sent his brother Kumbhakarna to fight the battle. Kumbhakarna was gigantic in size and used to eat continuously for 6 months and sleep for the next 6 months. A fierce battle ensued, and Kumbhakarna killed many monkey soldiers and injured lots of warriors. Lord Rama then confronted him and finally he killed Kumbhakarna. Ravana decided now was the time to kill Rama and put an end to this battle. Arming himself with his most powerful weapons, Ravana left Lanka. He spotted Rama leading the monkey army. Ravana fired a magic arrow at Rama. Seeing the arrow, Rama split it with his own arrow. Ravana tried everything to overpower his enemy, but each time Rama had an answer. And a very fierce battle went on for few days, but nobody was being defeated and nobody was getting the win. Finally Rama reached for his most powerful weapon, the Brahma missile, to be used only when all else had failed. He took it to his hands. As he did so, the earth shook. All the warriors covered their eyes and fell to the earth. Rama stood poised. He aimed the weapon at the on-rushing Ravana. Vibhishana knew the secret about how to kill Ravana. He whispered to Rama, "Aim your arrow at his navel. There is immortality nectar in his navel. If you dry that up with your arrow, only then shall he die." And Lord Rama did as he was told by Vibhishana.
But to everyone, the remaining demon army and monkey army were astonished. The art of war was seen of the warriors at the battlefield. Then Ram chopped off the head of Ravana. But to everyone's surprise, a new head of Ravana appeared. Every time a new head appeared in place of the previous one. This was very surprising. Sri Ram continued to destroy Ravana's heads. Then Ram thought that perhaps his arrows had lost their power. Just then Vibhishan came and told Ram the secret of Ravan's death. So Ram took out his Brahmastra, prayed before it, and shot it at Ravan. Ravan's body burst and a stream of holy water started flowing out. Ravana fell down to the earth and died. Thus, the greatest demon of the world was dead. The monkey army praised Sri Ram. The praises and applauses of Sri Ram echoed in all three lokas. Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram.
So, children, the day Ravana died is celebrated as Dashera, and it marks the victory of good over evil. So, after this, once Ravana had been killed, let us see
Jai
what
Shri Ram.
happened next. So, now that Ravana had been killed, Vibhishana was made the new king of Lanka. His wife and maidens took Sita from the garden. A beautiful sari was placed around her, and jewels made her sparkle. Lord Rama requested Sita to go through the fire test to prove her purity. Goddess Sita successfully completed the fire test, and Sri Rama happily welcomed her. Sri Rama then returned to Ayodhya. Lamps were lit up, people wore new clothes, and sweets were distributed. This day, when Lord Sri Rama returned to Ayodhya, we all celebrate it as the festival of Deepavali. His coronation, that is the ceremony to declare him as the king of Ayodhya, took place with great splendor, and lot of celebrations happened on this day. So finally, children, that is the story of Lord Rama, and that is the story of how Rama killed the demon Ravana and Kumkaran and brought an end to the second birth of his gods Jay and Vijay. Now, after this story, children, I have something very interesting for all of you and also for your mom and dad. These are few things which lot of us do not know about. So what I want to tell you first is what was the real reason for Kekai, who asked for exile of 14 years. Why did she want to send Lord Rama to the forest? The reason for this is a sage, Ratna Rishi. Yeah, dear, I will take up the your questions and your doubts after this slide. Okay. A sage, Ratna Rishi, had told Kekai that if Dashrath had children and whosoever sat on the throne for those 14 years would die. Kekai wanted to protect Lord Rama because she loved him a lot. even if it meant the death of her own son Bharat. Bharat, however, took Lord Rama's sandals and kept them on the throne for all these 14 years, and that is why he also was saved from death. The second interesting fact that I want to tell you, the real reason for Rama seeking the help of monkey army. Lord Rama believed that monkey army would help him without any selfish motive or any greed. Whereas if he took help from humans, they might leave his side and they might join hands with Ravana for gold, for money. So that is why he took the help of the monkey army. And the third important and interesting fact, which lot of us don't know, is the real reason for Sita going through fire test. This is that before Ravana took away Sita, Sita had been sent to the custody of fire god by Sri Rama. And the one who was actually kidnapped was only a shadow Sita, also known as Maya Sita. Fire test was done so that real Sita could be returned back by fire god to Lord Rama, and that is exactly what you can see on the picture in the picture on the right. You can see that fire god has come in order to return goddess Sita safely into the hands of Lord Rama. So these are the interesting facts which a lot of us do not know, and I wanted to tell you about these interesting facts. Okay? Yeah, anybody wanted to ask some question? I could hear some voice. Anybody has some question? Any questions, children? Did you find the story interesting?
I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
In the story, it said Deep Valley. Is Deep Valley another name for Diwali, or is it a different festival?
No, it is the same festival. It is Deepavali is another name for the festival Diwali.
Okay, thank you.
So, what do we learn from this story, children? We can learn several good values from this story. We can learn that ultimately, whatever might happen, truth is always going to win at the end.
Okay.
And second thing that we can learn is that if we are united together, then we can overcome any kind of difficulty in our life. We should be committed to our duties. So if your duty is to study, then you should study with full commitment. If your duty is to play, you should play with all your heart. Okay, so be committed to your duty. Always choose the path of truth. Treat everyone around you equally and nicely, and always keep an attitude of forgiveness. Because if you learn to forgive people around you, if you do not keep bad and ill feelings against people, that will bring peace to you and that will bring ultimate happiness to you. So before we close the session, let us go through the Shanti Mantra.
Homework today?
Yeah?
Good. I have been waiting for homework for many weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to give you homework today. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So this Shanti Mantra, peace mantra is from Krishna Yajurveda Taittiriya Upanishad. The last shloka of this Upanishad states this peace mantra.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Now, children, take a deep breath and feel the peace in you, the peace in nature, and peace in all the divine forces which circulate around us. Om Shanti.